Are you looking for reads about new love under cherry blossom blooms or being held closely watching a romantic sunset on the beach or even a hot summer fling? Well, I hate to disappoint you, but you will not be finding those in this video. Maybe next time. Hey everyone, welcome back if you are returning. Welcome in if you are new. Hi, I'm Mo. For May, I'm going against the grain a little bit from the traditionally themed reads that are for this time of year and letting you know about some books, some stories that might have you on the edge of your seat in disbelief. Let's get into it. First up is We Dance Upon Demons by Vaishnavi Patel. As a reproductive health worker in Chicago, Nisha is barely staying afloat in the ocean of abortion bans, screaming protesters, and her own all-consuming depression. When she escapes to the Indian art exhibit at her favorite museum for a brief respite, Nisha suddenly finds herself bleeding, disoriented, and collapsed on the ground. The last thing she remembers is the statue that beckoned her to touch it. In the days that follow, Nisha feels a strange power coursing within her, one that attracts a host of dangerous and enigmatic characters who covet it for themselves. Facing threats, both otherworldly and distinctly human, Nisha must navigate uncertain alliances to piece together the centuries-old mystery of her odd and terrifying abilities. As the danger closes in on her loved ones, community, and the clinic she is determined to protect, Nisha must choose the life she wants and fight all the demons standing in her way to get it. Hop is all that he has, his name. Hop has no memory of his life, how he ended up in an ancient labyrinth, nor the mysterious girl trapped with him. He also can't identify the shadowy figure stalking him, whispering terrible things. There is one thing that he knows for certain. He has to find a way out. Lying behind a series of locked doors across an array of strange realms, the way out is through the bone door. To get there, Hop must complete a series of impossible tasks. As he travels deeper into the maze, he discovers that he and the others trapped with him may be more connected to this place of horrors. If he is unable to unravel the true mystery of the labyrinth and his own role within it, any hope of escape will be lost forever. Alrighty, we have Honey by Imani Thompson. Risa is in a funk. She's bored of her PhD program, bored of her research on Afro-pessimism, bored of the entitled undergrads she has to cater to. But most of all, she's bored of the men in her life, especially the bad ones. When her friend Nina confesses to having an affair with her professor and that he's stolen her research, Risa is mad. On the quad, Risa bumps into the professor and witnesses his death, an unfortunate incident involving San Pellegrino and a bee allergy. What she sees that afternoon awakens something in her, a taste for death. Emboldened, Risa decides to chase that high, and soon, no sexist, misbehaving man within commuting distance is safe. With each death, Risa feels a greater sense of meaning and purpose. Finally, her doctoral research feels useful. But how long can doing this in the name of feminist and racial solidarity justify her actions? Will her rampage ever assuage her feelings of rage and revenge? And how long until her actions and buried family secrets come back to haunt her. There is nothing that Simone won't do for her daughter, Lucy. Lucy is heading off to university, but before she does, Simone decides they will spend some quality time together and take a trip from the UK to the USA, specifically Texas. When Simone awakens on her first morning, she finds Lucy gone. Her phone left with a message for Simone. Don't tell the police. Come to this location and be prepared to do a deal. Ignoring her husband's plea to involve the authorities, Simone doesn't want to risk any chance of the kidnappers hurting Lucy. When she arrives, she learns that the kidnapper doesn't want money. They want her to do something unthinkable. A catastrophic chain of events is set into motion with consequences that extend beyond Simone and her family. Her courage and morality are pushed to the brink as she discovers what it truly means to be a mother. 5 by Ilona Bannister. 5 seemingly random people are waiting on a train. It seems like any other day, but these are not just any 5 people. These are the candidates for this morning's misfortune, and none of them know it. But from the beginning, as a reader, you know that one of them will die. In the next 5 minutes, the next train to London will arrive, killing one of them. But before that happens, you will learn their stories. None of these people is a saint. As the reader, you are complicit in what is about to happen. You will not be able to resist deciding who deserves to walk away and who deserves only 5 more minutes to live. New apartment, check. New job, check. New boo, check. Arya Stokes is finally feeling settled and is really enjoying her time with Jasper, a regular at the bookstore she now works at. Jasper surprises her for Valentine's Day with tickets to an exclusive after-dark tour of the Daedalus Library, a grandiose establishment famed for its immersive, genre-based reading rooms and for being haunted. But what Jasper doesn't know is that Arya has been here before, and the last time she left behind a body. When the automatic door entry malfunctions, Arya, Jasper, and 5 others in their tour group become trapped in the library. They are forced to venture through intricate reading rooms and hidden passageways in search of a way out. The group learns that there is a murderer in their midst, and Arya has to decide whom she can trust and what secrets are best kept buried if she wants to make it out alive. Now we are moving into historical fiction, and first up is Behind 5 Willow by June Her. As the dutiful second eldest daughter of a poor family, society would have Hae-won believe that her only hope of a decent life is to marry well. But during a time of rampant government censorship and book banning, she instead works as an illegal book transcriber to make a little extra money. It's dangerous work, but she loves it, especially when she gets to transcribe the work of her favorite author, known as Black Lotus. When her older sister becomes smitten with a wealthy young gentleman, Hae-won is roped into chaperoning them during their courtship, which wouldn't be so terrible if it weren't for the young man's uptight and annoying best friend who accompanies them. As the only son of a noble, Seo-jun has a lot expected of him: wealth, status, respectability. Certainly not frivolous and often illicit activities such as reading fiction. But Seo-jun loves to do something even more scandalous: writing. He's kept his work secret from his father and friends, but with each passing day, the pressure of being his father's son and the dispiriting actions of the government makes Seo-jun question the purpose of it all. When his best friend falls hard for a girl of a lower social status, Seo-jun finds himself forced to act as a chaperone to the infatuated couple. But as Haewon and Seo-jun spend more time together, they begin to suspect they may have judged each other too quickly. Oxford, Mississippi, 1933. Meg LaFleur is now an orphan after her mother abandons her on Christmas Eve. She is now considered one of the unadoptable girls at the Lafayette County Orphan Asylum, where she fights each day to keep her spirit up. New to town, Bertie Calhoun has come to Oxford to ask her socialite of a sister to help the struggling family that she left behind. She discovers, though, that her sister's seemingly charmed life is built on lies. And then there's Charlie, a woman with nothing left to lose. When Bertie, Charlie, and Meg's lives converge, Charlie comes up with an audacious plan for them to take control of their lives. But in a place and time where hypocrisy is rife and women's freedom is fragile, even the smallest act of defiance can have dangerous consequences. When having a child, there is so much to consider. How much time can you afford to take off from work? What all do you need to buy? What about childcare? What is your support system like? And of course, first and foremost, will the child be healthy? For 77-year-old Pepper Mills, she has been there and done that 3 times. In fact, her grown children have convinced her to move into the retirement community of Vista View in Austin, Texas. She's not excited about this, but to her surprise, not only does she make new friends, but she falls in love. Things seem to be going really well. That is until she experiences symptoms that initially lead her children and her grandchildren to believe that there is a downturn in her health. After several tests, Pepper Mills finds out that she is pregnant. When word gets out, everyone wants a piece of Pepper. The press, activists, medical researchers. Pepper has some hard decisions to make regarding her life and now the one growing inside her, some of which she's not going to be allowed to make. Up next is A Dark and Wild Wood by Sarah Nicole Lemon. Ever since she was a child, Salome has been plagued by visions of spirits and dangerous powers she can't control. After watching her foster mother burn as a witch, she and her beloved sister Rochelle are raised together in a convent, a grim and dreary existence, until one day Rochelle vanishes. Determined to find a way to save her, Salome runs, first to a brothel, and then, after a terrible accident, away from the village and into the woods. Deep amongst the trees of the wild Black Forest, she comes face to face with Lord Death. Rather than taking her life, he brings her to his home, and at the heart of the woods, a strange manor full of locked rooms and mysterious corridors, crumbling one moment, magnificent the next. He promises to make her his apprentice and teach her how to harness her mind and her magic. His words are seductive, just as his presence. But Salome must ask herself, should one trust Death? Last but not least is Death's Daughter by S.A. Barnes. What is life like as a college student? How about life as a college student and the only child of death? Well, Jocasta has carved out as much of a normal life as she can, given that she has a name like Jocasta and feeds on the disappointments, failures, and rejections of others around her instead of their flesh. Between her messy situationship with her former TA and making sure her friends and classmates don't find out who she is, Jocasta has her hands full. When Death names Jocasta as his successor, others like her come out of the woodwork wanting to either make an ally of her or to cause problems. She refuses to let what and who she is harms those she cares for, even if it means becoming what she hates. Between haunted libraries, deadly powers, revenge, kidnappings, tough moral choices, and even unexpected pregnancies, I hope that I have given you some books to think about for this May of 2026. Let me know which one of these you will be picking up first. Until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you in the next one.